I would like to introduce to you Alex Patrick. Alex,
Oh, I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
how do you sort of reel in the expectations, especially stop dancers from doing things they shouldn't be doing?
Great question. So I do get those students who maybe learned a skill at a clinic or somewhere where there was a trampoline or a floor, a bouncy floor. And then they're like, oh, I want to put it in my solo. And then, I spot them and I realize that they're not strong enough. I will say to students, like, I think we need to work on drills. We need to work on this, this, and this before I feel comfortable allowing you to do that on the hard floor. And I'll tell their parents, and I'm very upfront about it because safety is my priority. But I will also give them the tools in order to get to being strong enough to do those things. So I often will bring my computer and I will take notes on everything that we do in our private lesson, and then send those notes to the parents so that the kids can practice. Especially, it's usually around like age 7. Oh no, 7.5. No one's ever just 7. I don't know if you knew this. Around age, yeah, they're never just 7.
Really?
Is when they're trying to flip and the mom is like, please tell her not to practice this without you. And I'm like, Susie, you're not allowed to practice this without Miss Alex. And they're like, okay. So it helps because, the parents will say like, you're not allowed to do that. But then once a professional says also, hey, you're not ready for this, then usually I kind of am backing the parents up.
What is the most difficult trick that you teach a dancer?
Depends on if they're more of a flexi contortion route or more power tumbling strength route. Probably the most advanced power tumbling that I would allow or put in a dance really would be either a back layout, step out, or I have had a student do a half and start twisting, really reserved for those top advanced students. But I call them skills rather than tricks, just because, trick, it's funny because my last name is Patrick, so I could really do a play on words there. But
Yes.
skill, it involves the technique. And so maybe someone puts an aerial in a dance and their technique is not good, they're going to get points taken off rather than points added. So a judge at a dance competition, it's not an additive process. And I think parents don't realize, like, they're not going to add on points for skills, but they take away points for technique. And so it'd be better to master a simpler skill and put that in, and we can appreciate that and it's beautiful. And then maybe next year work towards that other thing.